Welcome to the Hanwha booth here at SMTA Guadalajara. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Nichols, Vice President of Marketing, I believe is your current title.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Trevor.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So you spend a lot of time down here, Johnny.
Yes,
tell us a little bit about how the character of the market down here for Hanwha equipment and ESC printers, of course.
Okay. Well, what we see in the Mexican market is certainly a very exciting marketplace to be in now. There's a lot of growth happening down here. And, we see, for us, we see very strong trends at the OEM level, but also on the EMS side as well. And what we're actually making a lot of inroads with is some of the HM series technology that we have. It is dual lane technology, but it's different product dual lane capability. So it enables you to run that high mix, low volume on one lane simultaneously, independently, while you're running high volume, no mix or no changeover on the other lane.
Wow.
All in the footprint of a single line.
So that's two completely different jobs and different characteristics on two different lanes.
Yep.
And so what's driving that? I mean, I think last 10, 15 years, of course, we've had the high volume contract manufacturers down here, but in recent years, especially post-pandemic, we've had a lot of American manufacturers that are doing sort of high mix, coming down and establishing factories down here. And is that what's driving some of this?
Well, it is, but in addition to that, from a financial and from a competitiveness standpoint, the goal is to enable North America to be more globally competitive. Certainly that can be achieved with automation, but looking at the automation solutions that are available for people to purchase and utilize in their plants, the idea of being able to do more in less, meaning more in less time, in less space, for less investment, is very real. And this is the technology that Hanwha delivers today. And we've been very fortunate to be able to, establish great relationships with some of these mover and shaker EMS companies and OEMs that are here in Mexico that also have operations in the U.S. as well. And they love the idea of being able to do, in other words, our slogan is make more in less time, less space for less investment. And the way you do that is if you can take a single footprint, a single line footprint, and essentially make two lines out of one line in there, provided the product is the right fit, geometry-wise of the board form factors, you've got the ability to actually achieve that. So doing more in less time, less space for less investment is very real and being purchased now, particularly by those companies in Mexico that are looking for a way to keep the plant floor space that they have, but retool it in a way that's a little more progressive and a little more efficient, enabling them to be more productive, certainly more efficient, and ideally in the end, more profitable.
Right.
Okay.
So how does this operate then, from the operator's point of view? How does it affect him if he's trying to monitor two different jobs on two different lines?
So what you have is the same teams that you would use for two lines of equipment. Those teams are still applied to the line, but you have one team dedicated to one side of it and the other team dedicated to the other side, instead of having the footprint of two lines in a manufacturing floor space. When you look at productivity per meter squared in a floor space, how productive is our existing floor space right now? You're essentially multiplying that efficiency and productivity by enabling everybody to work in a smaller space. So it's not cramped, it's not compact, because you're staying dedicated on this side of the line and staying dedicated on that side of the line with your line teams that are there. Now, the initiative to actually do more with less people is certainly alive and well, and it's certainly achievable with everyone's automation today. It just depends on how far you want to go with the intelligent system solutions that are available as options on everybody's automation today, and we're no exception to that.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, as we said before we started, a lot of people are talking about yield coming off these systems. Yes, sir. Yield's pretty high in any case, in most cases anyway.
They are.
But the big thing that's often ignored is machine downtime. But to maximize machine downtime using the sort of configurations we've been discussing, surely that has to be tied to one of these automation systems, automatic storage systems, with component counters and AGVs, so that the feeders are constantly replenished.
Well, the idea is to be able to perform your intelligent setups offline before you get to the production line, right? And certainly embracing the material storage solutions that are available today, the X-ray component counting solutions that are available today. All of these have kind of been the missing link for many, many years, right? And now the communication is very, very much available to everyone today to network all of that together, enabling people to have a more in-depth setup offline when they're actually setting up a job, verifying that they've got the right parts in the right locations from an optimization standpoint, and then the right quantity of parts. And quantity is very important when we start talking about line utilization, right? Getting the uptime increased on the line. And everyone is challenged with this, right? Looking at how many parts are loaded on these lines today, especially in lines that are high efficiency lines where you may have hundreds of feeders loaded on the line to eliminate changeover. You still have to monitor the quantities of those reels that are on the line. And what brings those lines down, when you start looking at that OEE, what drives it down is part shortages, right? And then how quickly can you get a part to the line when you know you're running low or you're worse, out. And you can be the most advanced EMS company and OEM that's out there today, and I have to tell you, everyone still runs out of parts, okay? And how efficiently can you get from there to here with that part? So the IT systems that are in communication with these real storage systems and your X-ray component counting, when you're setting up the job in advance before it even gets to the line, being able to have that window into what will happen when it gets to the production line, going ahead and having corrective actions executed by having additional reels of parts loaded to meet the demand of the quantity count that needs to be online to be able to run without having to address it here. If you can address it offline, it's better, and you can do that using those other technologies, your material storage systems and your transportation systems from the high capacity material storage systems, getting it from that location to your setup area, your kitting area, and or getting it to the line is very, very important. And people underestimate the importance of having that reel very close to the line. So let's say you've got a line and it's packed. There's no more room for an additional reel of parts. So you have to wait until you have a low level on one component number, part number rather. When that occurs, having a reel very close in relative proximity to the line in the machine and having intelligent feeders that know when you introduce a replenishment reel on there, not only does it need to verify that it's the right reel by barcode recognition, additional things like electrical test verification, of which Hanwha offers on machines, can also detect that there's a splice, that's a new reel. We've already verified by barcode it's the right number. Now we need to verify the electrical value is correct. And high-speed systems, as you all know, can place hundreds of thousand parts per hour. And if you make a mistake, and you're building high volume on one side or where there's high mix on one side, it's a very costly mistake. So yes, we were able to get the utilization of the lineup, but it serves no purpose if we had the wrong part loaded and we built a batch of bad boards, right? So
I mean, there's different forms of storage. You know, some people have these big storage rooms at one place in the factory. Other people have towers at the end of the line, and then other people even have carts that are next to the machine. What, in your opinion? And I know this is not, you don't sell them, so I'm just asking your opinion on it.
I do, but I know the makers and the movers and shakers in that realm too. In my opinion, I think the appropriate solution for just about everyone, doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are, you need to have some type of intelligent, organized, efficient material storage system, high capacity system. And you need to have intelligent rack systems, mobile racks, that can help you transport a batch of reels intelligently so that when they get to the setup kitting area, you know exactly where your part is so you can set it up quicker, more efficiently there. You also need to be able to transport replenishment reels out to the line very quickly and efficiently too, with small carts that are also networked. And there are people in the industry today, good ones, good OEMs that are out there that have those. So in my opinion, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all OEM that has everything. I think there's very good technologies in the material handling large capacity systems, and I think there's good relationships that are being forged today between them and some of the intelligent cart people that are out there as well. So I think you need both.
How diplomatic of you.
Well, it's what I see. It's my opinion. If I was setting up my own assembly or my own operation, that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, final question, Johnny. What's coming up next? Because I believe you've got something in the works you can't tell us about, but it's coming into the Apex timeframe.
Yeah, Apex timeframe. We if everything falls into place timing-wise, certainly we'll have some new equipment at the show. But what we're working on as far as our technology roadmap is to build complementary hardware pieces and certainly software that goes with it to be able to share a platform between different product lines. As you know, we have 3 different tiers of product. We have entry-level mounters, we have mid-speed mounters, and then we have our high-performance compact modular systems like the HM series. So we're being driven to actually deliver capabilities that are beyond what we have currently in the HM series right now, but be able to modify the line in such a way that we can introduce odd form capability to it, right? But that same machine can be used in DCAN lines and SM series lines. So it's a cross-platform compatible system that gives us efficiency, it gives us dual lane, it gives us mixed job production if and when we need to run it in the HM. And if we want to run same product dual lane on DCAN and or SM series, we can do that too. Right. So it's a very versatile product that will enable people to reconfigure their line without having to sacrifice compatibility with feeders and things like that, or work with other price tier platforms within our product line.
Sounds quite exciting. So
yeah,
we'll look forward to seeing that in Apex in January.
Yes,
so
sir.
In the meantime, I want to thank you for bringing us up to date and talking to us today.
Thank you. Good talking with you.
Kajiscan has been providing smart factory solutions for electronics manufacturers since 1999. We believe factory digitalization shouldn't be complicated. Due to our modular and flexible platform approach, no matter where you are on the road to digitalization, we have a solution for you.